I'm going to show you 5 different strategies on how to get high ticket clients from Instagram. I'm going to show you how to optimize your profile so that people want to buy from you. I'm going to show you how to buy thousands of followers for extremely cheap, how to automate DMs, what's the best DM to send to get the most amount of sales calls, and all the best ways to post on Instagram and your stories to get people interested in your services. And we're going to start with cold outreach through Instagram DMs. This is just sending a cold message to a prospect to try to get them interested in your service. Now, the main thing with cold outreach that you need to understand is that it is a purely numbers game. We need to do a lot of numbers in order to get a lot of results. When I started, I maybe sent 15 DMs, and I was like, when I was sending the first DM, I was like, I don't know if I really want to send this. And then I sent it off, and I was kind of scared for some reason. I was embarrassed to send these messages. I sent 15 messages out, and I was like, this is hard. This is going to take forever, and this doesn't work. And I got no results with that mindset. What we need to be thinking about is how can I send as many messages as humanly possible. On average, you're going to get about a 5 to 10% response rate, and you can send about 50 messages per day on Instagram, so you can expect about 2 to 5 replies per day. Out of that 5 to 10% response rate, you might get a 3 to 5% positive reply rate, and out of that 3 to 5%, maybe 1 to 2% will actually be interested enough to book a call with you. And also, all depends on how good the offer is and how good you are at getting them onto the phone. So if your offer isn't good and you're sending terrible outreach messages, then no one's going to respond. So just remember, again, it's a numbers game. We have to send a lot of messages out in order to get any real good results with this. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how to automate all this so it'll DM people automatically for you. Something else to note when you're doing DMs is to see if you are going to spam. I see a lot of people where they'll say they sent out 200 messages and they got no replies. And the reason you're getting no replies is only because people aren't actually seeing your message, because you're landing in the spam inbox. To check this, you can either create a new account and send a message to yourself, or just send a message to a friend or a family member and just see if it goes in the spam folder. You want to make sure that when you're sending this message that you aren't following each other from the account that you're sending to, right? And then also that you don't have any previous conversations with this person. If you send the message and you see yourself in the request box, that is good. Now, if you do not see yourself, you want to click on the spam messages at the bottom, and if you see yourself in there, that is bad. A lot of times you go to spam because some people are sending from a new account. I usually do not recommend you creating a new account just to send messages from a new account, because usually Instagram can detect this. They know it's a new account, and they know that most new accounts are meant for spam messaging, so that's why they send you to spam. So it's better to use an aged account, one that you've been using for a long time, because it already has a better reputation with Instagram. Now, let's say you don't want to use your personal account. There are several websites where you can buy fake aged Instagram accounts from 2016, 2018. You can buy those. They'll have 1,000 followers already on them, so they're a little better in terms of the reputation. And something else you can do to get out of the spam folder is just send messages to several of your friends, several of your family members. And again, make sure that you're not following them already. You guys don't have a conversation already. Ask them to go to the inbox, go to the spam folder, and find your message, and then report it as not spam. If they report it as not spam and they hold a conversation with you, you do this with like 5 to 10 different people, it should get you out of the spam box pretty quickly. And we're gonna go over whether or not you should use a personal account versus a business account, or have very few followers or a lot of followers, and how to buy those followers in a minute. But first, let's get into the messaging. Now, to send DMs, the first thing we need to do is find our audience, find the people that we actually need to reach out to. Now, there's 2 good ways of doing this. The best way is just using hashtags. This is where you're looking up your audience based on the hashtag that you think that they would use. So if I'm looking for real estate agents, I'm probably going to try using hashtag REAgent. If you're looking for interior designers, you would look for hashtag interior designers. Just think about who you're targeting and then what hashtag that industry would use. Now, the problem is sometimes with certain hashtags, because of the context of Instagram, it can be pretty hard. For example, if I use hashtag gym, it's just going to be a whole bunch of people posting their gym mirror selfies. So I'm not going to find the gym owners themselves. And so you can use a second option for finding people, which is finding people based on followers of another account. So if I'm trying to find gym owners, there's a profile, Gym Launch, which has 30,000 followers, and all of them are mostly gym owners. So I can scrape all the profiles of the people that follow that page. Now, there are easy and free automation tools that we can use that will give us the followers of these specific profiles, or give us the people that have recently posted within these hashtags. I use a Chrome extension called Growman IG Scraper. I'll put the link in the description below, and I'm going to show you how to use it. You'll just click on the tool, click the hashtag button at the top, and then enter the hashtag that you want to scrape from. Then put the amount of profiles that you want to scrape. This really doesn't matter. You can stop it whenever you want. And I usually do a 5-second interval, and then you just click go. It will then start loading, and every 5 seconds, it will give you a new profile with all the data that it can find on each individual profile. Now, if we want to extract the followers of someone, we can just go to extract followers. It'll give you 2 options: extract from your own followers or another Instagram page. So you put in the username of the profile that you want to scrape from, the amount of people you want to scrape, and then the interval, and then you click go. Now, when you think you have enough profiles and when you're done scraping, you can click either export to an Excel file or copy. I just like clicking copy, and then I'll paste it into a Google Sheet. Now we have all the data of every profile right here. Now, the problem with scraping from a hashtag is that sometimes people want to scrape from a specific location, like the United States, or from India, or from specifically Florida. But anybody can post into any hashtag, so we don't really know who we're scraping. when we are scraping these lists. Now, there is a way to kind of scrape people via a certain country. Chromium Scraper does give you the option to scrape via a certain location. The only problem is it'll only let you scrape via a certain location. So it doesn't let you do a certain hashtag within a certain location. It's just a location or hashtag. So what I do is I'll scrape a certain hashtag, let's just say RE agents, and I will only want to find people in America. And the data that it gives you, it'll show you people's phone numbers, which is really awesome. It'll give you phone numbers and emails. And in the phone numbers, it'll give you the country codes. And if I only want to target US, I can create a filter on the country code function, and I can click filter, and then I can remove all except for +1, which is United States. And I can click OK, and now we have only people that are in America. And we can also filter people that have an email, or filter how many followers they have. They have to have over 1,000 followers, all those things, which is pretty cool. So now we have the list of people that we actually want to send to, and we have to actually start automating messages. I use a tool called IGDMBot. It's on the Chrome store. It's about $15 per month. Now, there are constant new tools coming out on the market almost every single day. I get people, you guys reach out to me all the time saying, hey, I got a new tool available. I don't care, okay? But there are so many tools coming out. This might not be the best one. It's just the one I use, and it works for me, and it's only 15 bucks a month. I don't get paid from any of these tools that I'm mentioning, but I'm gonna show you how to use this tool, right? The first thing we're gonna do is just click on the tool, and we're going to go into the messaging button. So it's the third button down, messaging button. And then we have bulk DM list. You're gonna click on the message plus button on there, and then you're gonna add what message that you want to send. Now, what message do we actually send? I'm gonna show you a couple different frameworks, and every offer is a little different, but hopefully these frameworks can help you. There are two different ways of getting someone to respond on Instagram. One is a bait and switch, which is basically you reaching out to them, trying to get them to respond in any way possible. They respond, and then you pitch your offer. The second way is just a direct pitch with a straight call to action. I think both ways can work. You will get more replies if you do the bait and switch, but you'll have less people booking a call with you because people don't really like that. So if I send a message saying, hey, quick question, and then they think you're a lead, or they think you're actually interested in their service, they say, yeah, what's up? And then you start trying to pitch them or sell them something. A lot of people don't like that. So if we want to do the bait and switch, what you can say is, hey, I just had a question, or hey, can I request something? Or hey, can we partner up? I like the hey, can we partner up, because they can kind of understand the context. It'll get them to reply, and we can still lean it into a sales conversation. And if you want to do the direct pitch, which is what I usually do, we have 3 elements to any direct pitch offer. It is intro, then the offer, and then the call to action. The intro can frame the offer in a completely different light to make it sound a lot better. And so I use intros like, hey, I know you get 1,489,637 DMs per day, but this one's different. Or I want to see if you're open to a partnership, just like we said. Or hey, I know this is completely random, but you can also act like you're looking for a job and just say, hey, I'm looking for a job. I want to see if you guys have any positions available, and then go into your offer. You can even just make the whole message a question where you say, hey, if I said I can help you get offer, would you be interested? And then the next portion is you pitching your offer. Now, I'm going to give you some offer examples for like real estate agents. So you would say, I've got 7 seller leads in the local area, and I want to see if I could send them your way. Or I can send you 7 seller leads in your local area if you're interested. And then we lead towards a call to action. Now, for Facebook, Instagram, any social platform, the call to action needs to be a little more open, a little more broad. We do not want to close it off to say, hey, are you free for a chat sometime this week? We want to be like, are you open to chat? People are a little more open to a conversation on social platforms. If you're doing an email or an SMS, we want to have it closed-ended. We just want to ask yes or no questions. Can we chat maybe tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST? You want to ask that on an SMS, but on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, we want to say, are you open to chat, or would you be interested? So if we put the whole message together, intro, offer, call to action, hey, I just want to see if you guys had any positions available. I can bring you 7 seller leads per month if you can take them on. Are you open to chat? Or hey, I just want to see if you're open to a partnership. I can bring you 7 seller leads this month if you can take them on. Would you be open to that? So now that we have our message, we can go back into the DM tool. Again, the messages button, bulk DM list, add button. I'm going to try the bait and switch offer. So I'm going to say, hey, I know this is really random, but I want to see if you're open to a partnership. Now what we want to do is go back to our lead list and copy the usernames of all the people that we want to reach out to. Then go back into the automation Chrome extension and click the little robots. Then click create robot. You can name your robot whatever you want to. And then I do DM by bulk. In section A, we're going to do custom users. This is the list of custom users that we want to reach out to. And then we're going to paste all the users that we just copied from our list. Then in section B, we're going to select bulk DM list. This is the message that we're going to send that we just added. And then in section 3, we have delay between DMs. I usually do between 5 and 10 minutes, 4 and 12 minutes, whatever you want. And then section 4 is just a pause delay. So after every 20 messages, I will pause for another 10 to 20 minutes. Then you can click save. Then whenever you want to start, you just click the plug button and it'll start sending those DMs. Now, what I found about Instagram, it is a little weird. It's maybe a little different for every account, but for me, for some reason, it'll let me send like 25 messages almost immediately, right? I can send like 25 messages back to back to back to back. But after 25, it'll kind of stop me. It won't let me do anymore. But then it'll let me do more, let's say 6 hours later, 8 hours later. So what I'll do is I'll do like some in the morning, 20 in the morning, and then I'll do like 25 at night, whatever, you know? So that might be a good way you can split it up. Some people I've seen where they'll send like 25, like 30 minutes in between each message, and it'll still cap you at 20 or 25, you know, something like that. Anyways, what I do, again, 25 in the morning, 25 at night, just let the automation do its thing. Something else you can do to increase the amount of people that are actually seeing your DMs is just by sending a message or putting a comment on their most recent post. And so what I'll do is I'll put a comment saying, hey, I just sent you a DM, smiley face, on their most recent post, and this will greatly increase the amount of people that are actually seeing the DM that you're sending. Now, what about your profile? Should you send from a business profile? Should you make it look professional? The first thing is no one really wants to talk to a company or an entity. They want to talk to an individual. It's like when you call Amazon or call like customer support on any company and it's an automated system, you're like, I just want to talk to a human. So I wouldn't try to grow or maintain or send from a brand image or brand name. So don't try to do that. The best thing you could do is send from a personal brand. Now, I actually tested this. I tested 3 different variations of an Instagram account. One was my personal Instagram account I've had since I was like 16 years old. It had about 800 followers and it only had just photos of me, my family, my friends. Nothing special about it. Nothing at all said anything about business. And when I sent messages, I got a 15% response rate from that account. Then I created a fake account. I had a whole bunch of professional photos, professional images on there. And I bought 1 million followers. I actually made a video called I Bought 1 Million Followers. This account had 300,000 followers on the account at the time. And I sent messages from that account and I got a 22% response rate with professional photos and 300,000 followers. And then I verified that account and tried to send more messages. And when I had a verified account with 300,000 followers and professional photos, I had a 28% positive reply rate. So we can almost double the amount of responses that we get just from having a professional profile with a lot of good photos, a lot of followers, and verification. But all 3 scenarios still worked. I still got a good amount of replies from a normal looking account. Now you can buy these followers for really cheap. You can buy like 10,000 followers for like 10 bucks. I was able to buy 10,000 followers for $1 for every 10,000 followers. It was crazy. Now I think the pricing has changed a little bit. I will give you some websites that I used. One website was morethanpanel.com and another website was smmfollows.com. They're kind of hard to use and understand, but it's pretty cheap. If you want a whole video on just like how to buy millions of followers, I can give you that video. Now I said I was going to give you 5 different strategies for getting clients, and I'm going to give you those 5 strategies, but so far I've given you one strategy, which is DMing people on Instagram. But when we're scraping from GrowMan, it'll give us 3 separate channels that we can reach out to. One is the Instagram account, and then it also gives us an email account to send to and a phone number to send to. And really that turns into 4 strategies, because with a phone number we can do an SMS and a call. So we can easily get a ton more replies if we just do WhatsApp outreach or SMS outreach or email outreach to the same list that we're sending a DM to. So what I like to do is I will send the DMs to people, and then the same day after I've sent the message, I will send an SMS to them saying, hey, I just sent you a DM on Instagram, but I thought I would send you a text as well. And then just restate your offer. If they're outside your country, you can just use WhatsApp and just say the same thing. Hey, I just sent you a message on Instagram. I thought I would send you a message on WhatsApp, and then restate your offer. We can also send emails. That works extremely well as well. And we can reach out to them. Make sure you validate the email before you send. Once we have a validated email, we say, hey, I just sent you a DM to username, and I also just sent you a text to phone number. I wanted to see if I could reach out on email as well, and then restate your offer again. It's really, really hard to ignore you if you've touched base on 3 different platforms. And also what's great about the phone numbers that they give you is that a lot of them are mobile phone numbers of the owners themselves of the accounts, because usually they're meant to be texted anyway. So now what about posting on your Instagram? Now posting can do 2 things for you. If you're actually trying to grow your audience and build your audience, then the types of posts I'm about to show you will easily turn your followers into buyers instantly. And the second thing is that it'll provide real value to the people that you're sending DMs to and build social proof. So when you're sending a DM to somebody, they see your profile, they see the valuable content that you're posting, they will know that you are legit, and you'll have a much easier time getting them onto a sales call because of the content that you're posting. Now, the one thing you're really trying to do when posting these things is really just trying to build status, make yourself look larger than life. And a lot of people, they do not want to do this because IG is so fake. Everyone's like, oh, everyone's posting their Lambos, everyone's posting their watches, and everything just looks so fake. But the only real reason they do this is because it works. I hate that too. I don't want to flex either. I literally have like $80,000 on my desk right here, right? But I don't go, hey, look at me, I've got it. Because it just looks arrogant, right? It looks like you're prideful when you do that. But the thing is, it portrays real value. It portrays, okay, this guy actually, why does he have $80,000 on his desk, right? How does he, what does he know that I don't know, you know? So it's the same for these business posts. We want to make ourselves look cool, but not just make ourselves look cool, but also provide value to them. And by value, when you're posting on Instagram, we can do a long form copy post. So what this is you'll just post a photo, and then beneath that photo, you'll give some value to them. And the way you do that is just by giving them advice, or giving them a strategy, or giving them a story, and then the wisdom that you learned from that story. So for example, I posted on Facebook 27 strategies I use to get clients. And I gave a brief overview of all 27 strategies that I use to give clients. And a lot of people really loved that post. I posted a photo of me in my apartment a couple months ago, and it was a carousel. So it showed photos of me when I was getting started, photos of me struggling throughout this journey. And in the post, I gave some wisdom, my story of how I got here so far, and some of the things I learned along the way. And that really resonated with a ton of people. I wasn't really asking for anything, but it really resonated with people, and it got me a ton of leads. What you usually want to do is you want to give value. You want to say, hey, this is the strategies I use to get clients. You can do blah, 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 blah. Or here's the 3 tips that I use to maximize my performance every single day. Here's the 5 tips I use to close 10 deals per day, whatever. And then at the end, you're going to ask for a call to action. You're going to say, if you want me to help you close 10 deals per day, you can book a call below by, here's a link, right? Or you can DM me 10 closed deals per day, and I will send you a PDF on how to blah, blah, blah. We can also post on our stories, obviously, and stories usually get more attention than regular posts. Now, the easiest thing that we can post on our stories to get us a ton of clients really quickly is literally just testimonials. People will eat these up. If you post a screenshot of a client getting results, or a screenshot of your client saying something to you, or your results, or what you're getting, just any sort of screenshot, any sort of picture of, hey, look, this is what we are doing. This is how successful I am, how successful my clients are, whatever it is. Every single time I post something like this, again, I don't really have a ton of followers, the people that follow me for business purposes on my Instagram. But every single time I post something like this, I always get people reaching out to me saying, how does he do it? How do you do it? How do I get started? How would I do that? As soon as you post a testimonial, everyone thinks that they're missing out, right? This guy has something that I don't have. This guy knows something that I don't know. How do I get that, right? It works every single time, okay? Another strategy is using a direct call to action story. This is where you just post text saying, hey, I'm helping 10 real estate agents close 10 deals in the next 30 days guaranteed. Is anybody interested? DM me, blah, 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 below. And then they can click to DM and they can start a conversation from there. That works extremely well as well. Another one is long form videos on stories. You're kind of just making a 1 to 2, you can make it 5 to 10 minute video on the story itself, and you basically are just telling a story, right? You want to hook them within the first story, and you'll say something like, here's exactly how I made $10,957 yesterday. I did 3 main things that helped me get to this point. Number 1, and then the next story is, here's what I did. I did blah, 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 blah. Number 2, next story, blah, 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 right? And then on the third one, you say, if you want me to send you a PDF on all 10 strategies that I use, you can DM me blah, blah, blah below, and I will send you that list, whatever. Now, what's great about these stories is that if you go on long enough, right, if you do 4 or 5 stories back to back to back, then even if people don't DM you, you will get DMs from that. It works really well. But even if they don't DM you, people that have watched till like the 3rd or the 4th video, you know that they were engaged enough to keep watching. And so you can reach out to them saying, hey man, did you have any questions about the thing that you were watching? Now there's reels and short form content. I think that is a whole different ball game. I'm not going to get too much into that right here. I think it is the best way of getting discovered on Instagram right now, but Instagram discovery is pretty difficult. I really don't think it's as worth your time as just doing YouTube videos. I think you can have more discovery on YouTube and get better clients from YouTube. So I focus all my attention on long form content, not short form on like, TikTok or YouTube. I was able, and I say that from someone that was able to grow TikTok accounts really fast. I've grown 2 TikTok accounts to 20,000 followers overnight. I know how to do it. I know how easy it is, but the reason I don't do it is because both times that I was able to grow like 50,000 followers, it did not turn into any real success, right? No real money came from that. But if you want to do short form, a really good idea is literally just stealing ideas from other competitors and copying their success, right? So if you look at any of the influencers that are in your space, look at their top performing reel, top performing TikTok, and just literally copy that. Now copy it in your own way, do it the way that you would do it, right? It's like any of the people that do the dances, right? And they're just doing the dance, but they're just doing it in their own way, right? And they'll still get millions of views along with everybody else that's doing that dance. I call it catching the wave. There's also a really extremely good idea is catching waves from different mediums. So what I mean by that is like, if something's really popular on YouTube, you want to apply that really popular YouTube idea on TikTok or on short form. That can work extremely well. Or copying something on TikTok and applying it to YouTube. So you can look at other influencers in your space or just on YouTube in general and just look at their most popular videos and just try to mimic that in a short form way. But again, even if you go viral on TikTok or on any of those short form content platforms, it does not equal money. I've had millions of people see my face on TikTok and all that stuff, and it did not turn into $1 for me. Now I'm focusing on actually getting higher quality views, getting people that are actually interested in my services, only getting a couple thousand views per video, but I make way more money. I know for a fact I could have easily gotten to 1 million followers on TikTok by now, but the reason I chose this route because I knew I would make more money with this route, rather than that route. It's about the quality of the viewer, not the quantity of viewers for me. That is all the systems I use to get high paying clients on Instagram. If you want a system to consistently get 120 sales calls per month, I set up 15 different strategies for you to get consistent sales calls through Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, email, SMS, WhatsApp, voicemails, all those strategies we set up for you. We give you access to the tools that you need. We scrape the lead list for you. And if you aren't able to get high paying clients, then you do not pay us anything. If you're interested in that, you can book a call below. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.